But it is time to move away from the iMac, just for now, And what we're going to have a look at is Hackintoshing. It's been requested quite a few times. Can you Hackintosh this? Can you Hackintosh that? Using a Hackintosh. I am on a new phone recording this video. I'm no longer using the Z Fold 4. I am now on a Magic V3, still folding, and I actually have a proper camera mount. So we have got a 8th gen Coffee Lake Intel Core i5, and if we go into Device Manager, we have two graphics cards. We already have the Intel graphics, which we're going to be using, and the GeForce graphics, which is 930MX, which we're not going to be able to use due to it being a discrete card and switching not kind of working in macOS, Hackintosh, whatever. We now have OpenCore. We now have the OpenCore guide from Dortania. We have some critical things that we need to review here. So obviously we need time and patience here.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You need to know your generation, so 8th gen Coffee Lake, Intel graphics. We're going to be running it on a SATA SSD because NVMe again is hit and miss, especially on a laptop. Ethernet chipset, Wi-Fi chipset. I haven't determined just yet. We'll do that soon. I have prepared my trusty flash drive. I use this one because it just always works. It's had this one since like 2014. It's even bent. And it still works. So we've got some sections to verify of what we should do here. So CPU requirement. If you're going to be running it on a really old CPU, you need to check this out because if it's 32-bit, you're going to have issues. You need to have some SSEs down here, 4.2, some firmware requirements down here. So like 10.8 and newer require blah blah blah, kernel requirements, core limits, whatever, blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah.
Doesn't really matter. And then what's quite important here is Intel CPU. So here we can say Coffee Lake, current, and any issues. So we can at least by this install the latest version of macOS and have no issues, which we're going to try and do. We're going to try and go with Sequoia and see what happens. We may end up backing down off of that. Now we have GPU support. We're obviously not going to be running our card because it's a dedicated card and it's not going to work and it's not going to be worth the time and effort to try and make it work as of yet. And then motherboard support doesn't really matter. We've got some storage stuff here. All SATA drive should mostly work. Intel wireless might not actually be that bad because there's been some fixes for that recently. We should be good to go. And yeah, look, Intel Wi-Fi is unofficially supported. We might be able to make that work. Now I'm going to do finding your hardware. So what it's going to talk about here is how you're going to identify what you've got. So just skip all of that, shall we? And then you've got your important terminology, which I'm not going to go through here, but you've got like your normal UEFI, EFI, MBR, blah 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 stuff.
Blah blah blah.
So what we're going to do is, what we need is this. So I can call it a new tab, and we'll download the latest release of that. Yep, download is going to be unavailable. We open that up here. Yeah, I know it's not a thing. Calm down. I know desktop is not available. So now what we're going to do is go to utilities. So we'll do CMD in here. And then once we've run CMD in here, what we need to do is, we're going to need Python. Okay, so we'll just do that and see what happens. And we don't. I remember now reinstalling this and trying to use the Chris Titus tool and it would not work. I know the desktop doesn't exist, leave me alone. Setup was successful, cool. So what I'm going to do is do CMD again. If I can type. This keyboard, it's just cheap HP keyboard, I suppose. I shouldn't really say much about it. Now, we're going to be downloading. Now we're downloading directly from the Apple servers. So we've got Recovery Boot, and we've got Base System. So what we need to do, we've got Base System, so it looks a bit like that there. Damn! Come on, focus. That's what Base System looks like. So, oh yeah, by the way, the screen on this is not great. The blacks are more like a light grey. So, yeah. So what we're going to do, disk management, and we're just going to USB format to FAT32. Okay, is that all we've got to do? You know what? It says do that. I am going to do a disk part clean because I think there's a Windows installer on there and I'd rather it be nothing. So we're going to do list disk. select disk 2, clean, not like that. And then we're just going to format this, FAT32, inst, I shouldn't call it inst because we're not. So we're going to format that. And then we're going to go to the root of this USB drive and create a folder called that, and then we've downloaded in there. And then I really hope that's visible on the screen. The camera looks really like cartoony. I feel like I should probably have jumped the scaling of Windows up a little bit to make this visible. I feel like that. Oh my god. Right, anyway. Take the EFI folder out of that. And we get rid of the x64 folder. So we have our recovery media and the EFI folder. Okay, so we've got a UEFI system. So what I'm going to do is do that. Come on, Windows, man. You make this stuff work. Well, I say not work. You make this stuff to make our life easier, and it doesn't work. But then we have OC, which is our open core folder, which is where we put kexts, which are drivers, like tools, bits and bobs. So what we need to do is open up, I think, kexts. No, maybe it's drivers now. Okay. I suppose since that's where macOS is moving away from kexts, they now use these EFI folders. See, that's how long it's been since I've done this. I'm used to kexts, man. I'm gonna keep what I've got for now, just because I think this laptop's a little bit weird, and we should probably keep what we can. I'm sorry if I sound extremely close up. I am. I'm trying to read the screen. So, firmware drivers are used. I'm only quite a bit cheap. So we need HFS Plus, even though it says don't use on the other one. And we're not a legacy user. We do have UEFI, kexts, which is kind of extension. So kexts, which we don't have. Whoops, we're going to need to go and get these. And it's going to say desktop doesn't exist. I don't care that desktop doesn't exist. Stop, man. No one cares. Yeah, how about that? How about that? I feel like I should... Shush. I feel like I should probably use a mouse. I don't want to use the janky iMac mouse, though, to be honest. That's the only one I've actually got on hand. And then we need yellow. I don't know what the DSIM thing is. Graphics. We need whatever green. It's not weather green, is it? It's whatever green. Come on. That's going to happen a lot, by the way. Oh, there's an app. Come on. Let's do finding your hardware again, shall we? And actually find out what we're running. Just download Ida64, shall we? Windows Phone Store. Wow. From US download. Yeah, I understand. I've highly upset you by doing that, haven't I? It is extreme to find out what hardware I'm running. Yes, I know it's not free, and I know it's evaluation. It's going to get uninstalled in about half an hour anyway. So, we are running a... Yeah, sure you can. Realtek. 8168. I don't know how or when we do the Intel Wi-Fi stuff. I vaguely remember that being something after and not... Is it in here? Yes, it is. Give me that 81111. Okay, so we now need to map our USB ports. Debug dump windows.exe, please. Damn, it actually didn't complain about me in that time. So I think what we do is run this, and it's meant to create a kext. Discover ports. Oh, it's not 1, it's D. Getting controllers. This is also new. So we've got Type C. Oh, okay. Oh, we've got all of this. That's going to be... Oh, look. Well, that's Bluetooth. Okay, so I suppose we just... Whoops, I suppose we go back. And then we select ports and build. select all, I suppose. And then so we've got, I probably shouldn't do that, but we're doing that anyway. Generating. Done. So I think what we do now, I think we download USB Toolbox Kext. And I think what we do is put both this and what we just generated into the USB kext folder, I think. I'm fairly sure that's how that works anyway. We'll soon find out when it doesn't work. So we've got USB. So Wi-Fi. Okay, so what we need... I hate how many kexts you need. We need that. Do not use on 11 and earlier, that's fine. Oh, requires Apple's secure boot. Okay, we'll make secure boot work then. We've now got to make secure boot work. That's an extra step I was hoping to avoid. Hopefully it's not too bad anymore. Oh my god. Let's give that a check. And that is a big kext. So we've now got Wi-Fi, we've now got Bluetooth, we've now got USB, we've now got other system patches. I feel like we should download that because I am going to still have the Windows NVMe drive. And my number pointing device is PS2. It's going to be PS2, isn't it? It's PS2. So we're going to need that, we're going to need that. We're going to do NVMe fix since I am, or I say I have got an NVMe drive installed here. And this is where stuff gets complicated. And this is where I'm actually going to go and pinch the mouse from my computer. And where did that go? I just dropped the receiver for the mouse. Oh, nah, man. Nah, man. Nah, man. Where did that go? Where did that go? I can't believe this is happening to me. Yeah, what they are. Choosing the SSDTs, which is what this is. Methods. Pre-built SSDs, please. Then what we're going to do is we're going to find laptop and Coffee Lake. EFI, OC, ACPI. And we've now got the pre-built ones. That tells you what it does if you want to know, if you can see. Man. So now inside of ACPI we've got, and then we need to go to docs in here and grab our sample.plist. If you think this looks complex, it is, but there's so many guides now that make this so easy. So then we're going to run property.bat. Once property is running, open your config file by going open, and then we're going to find inst EFI OC. Press Ctrl Shift R and point it. And it's going to do its stuff, which it has. So what we need to do now comes the important part: setting the configuration path. Each problem has their own unique quotes you need to count as well. So Intel laptop, Coffee Lake, and Whiskey Lake. We're going to go to ACPI. We've got add. We've got it should be 1, 2, 3. Every 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we got 4. That's probably because we're kind of working stuff out and just going through it, which makes sense, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of minimizing each section and going through it one by one to not confuse myself, but we're just going through it and we're just checking it. So I'm going to remove that because. So what I'm going to do is create this, and we're going to create this and paste this into here as a dictionary. And then inside of here, we're going to create a sibling. No, we're not. That is not what we're going to do. We are going to child under. Then we're going to call this here. I think this is what this is saying to do. And we're going to do this just like that. So we're going to come to kernel, and somewhere on here, down underneath quirks, which is the main thing, Apple XVM, blah blah blah. I'm going to turn that on. Disable IO mapper. I'm going to turn on Lapit kernel panic. We're going to need, because this is a HME machine. Panic node kext dump. We're going to put on powered timeout kernel panic. Set that to true, and exo port limit equals everyone in 11. Okay, so I'm going to leave that like that. Hide auxiliary. Debug. Apple debug is true. Apple panic is true. Disable watchdog is true. And target is 67. Security. I mean, this is all pretty simple stuff. It's literally just finding these and changing it to what it says. So allow set default is yes or true. Blacklist Apple update is true. Scan policy is 0. Secure boot model for now default, and vault we're going to set to optional. Platform info. Now this is the bit about kind of spoofing the Mac, I think. And I'm going to just do this. So we're going to say MacBook Pro 15.1. That makes sense. You basically choose the version of Mac, something that's as close to your machine as possible. So instance, we've got UHD 630. Go to get this and run this. And it's going to generate like a serial number and everything for us, I think. It's going to say Mac serial not found, so we're going to go install that. Don't know what this is doing at the moment. I've never run this before. This is quite new to me. Let's see what it does. Select config.plist. Alright, we're just not going to do that. We're just going to do this instead. And we're going to do that. I'm going to copy the one from the guide. That'd probably work, but I'll copy the one from the guide. And then we've just got UEFI. So we're going to say release USB ownership is yes or true. Unblock FS Connect as no. Mainly needed by HP motherboard, so I'm going to set that to true. Oh, actually, I'm going to set that to false. I think it's saying it needs to be false for that. And then we need to change the BIOS at some point. So I'm actually going to take a screenshot of that and just get that done because, oh, where's the scroll bar? Let me do some checking here. And for now, I know it's going to say, oh, leave all drivers needed is bad, but for now I don't actually know what's needed, so I'm going to keep that. So we should be good to install now. So I'm going to do some BIOS settings quickly. And the image is on my phone, so I'm going to need to stop and just manually run through that all, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I have just finished making changes to the BIOS. It's not that much I could change, and it's just going to be the name of the USB stick, if it lets me, and we'll see what it does. We've got flashy lights on the USB drive, and we're open core, and I think that just booted Windows. This and space. And then we should say, oh my god, there's a lot on here. Windows, or is it that? Inst? That's the name of the USB drive. Let's try that and see what happens. I think that's the one. It's just whether this actually works. So there's flashy happening on the flash drive. We have got, oh, we got an Apple logo. That's not something you see every day. HP Apple. That is cursed, actually. And the fact that that's not booting Verbose is worrying me a little bit because it was set to boot Verbose, but well, that happened. I was messing around with a lot of configurations and files and everything, and it's in Russian as well, as you can see, which we'll sort that out later. But do you remember the bit that said like disable all drivers and just add what you need? And I went, it'll be fine. Well, I did that and it worked. So before we do anything, I need to add an SSD. Oh my god, it's in Russian. Is that shut down? Okay, that must be shut down because it's shutting down. Ignore the picture of John Paul on the top of the laptop. It's very easy in this laptop to change the drive. I'm going to do it in about a minute and a half. So what we do, we undo the very stripped Phillips screw, the single Phillips screw by the way, and then you do that, and there's your RAM, and then you undo the second Phillips screw, and that comes out. This is not permanent, so like, I'm just going to put this in like that, and then we're going to take this back in here. Is that a crack? No, that's just a bit of antenna or something. Put this down here like that. Get this nice and open back up. Now I've got to work out how to change this from Russian, haven't I? Should we just try and progress anyway? I'm very familiar with this installer. So that's going to be the SSD that's got Windows on it. So this is going to be set up. So we're going to do an erase. We're going to call this Mac Ting APFS. Cool. I'm very familiar with macOS, so I can probably use it in another language anyway. Anything that's going to be hard with error messages, so continue. Oh, we haven't got Wi-Fi. Damn. So let's do that just now. This either is or isn't going to work. Come on. And in Russian. There it is. And I'll use the mouse because that works better. Mac Ting, go. Bada bing, bada boom. That's going to have to download that. That's going to take a moment. Okay, so the last couple of days I've kind of just been playing around. And I made some changes to the config. And lo and behold, this is now working. And I cannot do that. We need to change languages because let me work this out quickly. Okay, so I was using Google Lens to translate this, and well, that works. It hasn't changed the language, so I still think there's something we will need to change. I'm hoping if I do that, and then I say, you know what, we'll just cancel out that and leave that as default. We'll leave it all as default. I'm fairly certain that if I just mash the buttons, no internet. I'm used to this installer, so I can kind of navigate on here. However, basically what we will do is change the not now. Yes, I accept. This is where we're basically going to be making a user account. I don't quite know how we're going to do this, but what we'll do is that. Oh, this is going to be incredibly wrong. Well, I want to get open core. Well, no, we'll do the language first. It's quite important. But then we'll get open core up and running. We can set the time zone at least. That's fairly easy, point and click. No, you're not having analytics. Don't want to set up screen time. Don't want Siri. I know the installer anyway. The language doesn't matter. Ooh, that is a very good question. I'm going to stick with light mode for now. Welcome to macOS, or welcome to Mac, or something like that. This says, and then I think we can. Let's just get the post install going, shall we? Because I would really like to not need the USB. That's the fold. First thing I'm looking for is mount EFI. Okay, I was just poking around in the settings and there was a big red box and I clicked it and Explorer's now just, or Finder's just now closed. I don't know if it's trying to restart or if we've just crashed the whole system. I think I just removed all the languages. So now it's restarting mids of trying to get Mount EFI working. And it's going to say the clock's invalid even though it's not, and the time and date is actually correct, and the battery is working. So full system boot. That's looking a lot more English. That is very English. So that's not English. British keyboard. Damn, look at this. So general, the one with the globe, and then up here is your languages. Bruh. Oh, even that worked. Yes, I would like to install the latest version of Python. So basically what we need to do is mount the EFI folder for the installer, copy the EFI folder off, and then, so what we're going to do, so we're going to get this one, and copy this off, and then get rid of that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open EFI for Mac. We can do that. So basically we now just have the USB drive put on a... I would really like to change that username, but this may not work. Or the display name, I should say. And I'm going to call that NR for not Russian. I don't actually think it's Russian. Spam F9 and see what comes up in the boot menu. I'm hoping that booting from this SATA 3, which is the secondary drive, this is going to boot. What is going on? Is this going to boot macOS? If it does, that means the EFI partition worked. The EFI partition worked. Now we are booting entirely off of the hard drive. And all we're going to do is get rid of that account. We're going to boot into the new one. Normal setup with the accessibility and Siri, although I am going to keep Siri on this time. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go to post install again. Nope. So what I'm going to do is mount 3 EFI boot C config.plist. Basically the main thing I need to do is find -v, which means verbose boot, and we're going to delete that like that. See if it lets us save. Yes, it does. I know it doesn't support that, whatever. So now the next time I boot, it won't ask me. It won't show me all that text on my screen. Basically, this is going to run a script. Well, it won't run a script because macOS won't let it. All that stuff. So hardware acceleration is fully supported. That is other stuff which I'm going to check later. We're going to check DRM next. Can we play the trailer? Which should indicate if DRM is working. We can play the trailer. And that's working pretty well. I found a different Wi-Fi card driver. It doesn't use like the native Wi-Fi picker, and you'll see in a minute. I'm just going to log in. So you'll see in the dock in a minute, there's some new programs. So first of all, Hacking Tool, though I haven't really been using Hacking Tool. I'm hoping now Helipool, whatever, is going to work. This is basically another Wi-Fi driver. We don't need mount EFI anymore because... So I use this OpenCore configurator as opposed to OC auxiliary tools. And I mean, it does the same thing, but it seems to work for the later versions of OpenCore. And I think that was working a bit better. We're not using this Wi-Fi. However, we do have this now. And so I've just disconnected Ethernet. I don't know what, yeah, there we go. We now have Wi-Fi. So I can go to, and I can actually just play stuff.
My dream was too big for a cubicle. Adobe Express makes it easy to create content for my business, which made it easier to trade in my desk job for my dream job.
Now, the only thing we are missing, what I'm also going to do is turn off this. But we actually need to say British PC, since it was trying to use the Mac British layout, where it's basically the American keyboard layout, so Shift 2 does your @ symbol instead of by the Enter key. So we do actually need it to be PC. I do have a Mac keyboard, but obviously that's not the one built into the laptop. However, if we get rid of all of these and just have one, that will disappear off the menu bar. So ESP Mounter basically just does that, and you can use it to mount partitions. I think EFI Agent also does something similar. we are technically now running macOS, so we can download something like... Should we try the App Store? Although it's going to probably want me to sign in. We should be able to open the App Store here. I don't think I'm going to be able to sign in. Let's see what happens. I'm going to have to pause. So they did actually just sign in. So what we can do now is go and download battery stats. We download battery stats, please. What else can we download? Let's download the car parking simulator because I wanted to play that on the iMac. Or I did play that on the iMac, sorry. The iCarver, iMovie, that will all do. I'm not going to run all of that. I just want to show some stuff download and see. Actually, you know what? I haven't done it in a long time. I need to see what else is available on the App Store. So, battery health probably seems about right to me. Don't really know. Never really checked the battery health on this thing, to be honest. Obviously, the iCarver is a bit like 7-zip. It just opens archives. Oh, that's nice. I like that battery reading. I do, however, don't appreciate it downloading that one first, since unironically it's actually bigger. Oh no, it has done this. Let's see how this runs, because this is a game I actually ran on the iMac, and you see it lag hella. This is on the Intel HD graphics, so it might lag hella as well. Me, and I'm 901 years old. I can only do that, alright, 99. No, actually, I'm going to be 0 years old. We'll skip it. So far, so good, actually. Okay, yeah, this is perfectly playable. Shall we do some driving? Oh my days! Yeah, I mean, the performance isn't amazing. Whoops, sorry guys. Okay. Bro, we're doing it 3 miles an hour. Why are we already in 3rd gear? Oh, come on, bro. This is such a mobile game. I don't actually know what I have this game downloaded. It's a bit crap. Bruh. I mean, it works though. Damn. Damn, look at my arms. Can I drift? Oh no, there's a ball there. Oh my, no, no, no. Oh, what happened? Oh, I'll reset. Damn, now how do I get out of here? Yes, I really do want to quit the game. So, yes, it can play games. I'm not going to download iMovie, that's going to take ages. Let's go to... I know it's just a web browser thing, but it should run. Let's do System 7.5. This is real emulation, by the way, just in the web browser. I also quite like this. There's also now saved hard drives. So, although it's a bit annoying because it's saved in cache in a browser, but you can actually like have a hard drive between all these different systems. So I could put something in here and then go out and go to a different version. Let's go down to 2. And then you could be opening, I mean, I don't know whether it's on this one specifically. This is quite an old one. But then it would appear here. Let's not do that one, let's do 6. Pretty sure I was on 7 earlier, but I could be wrong. Yeah, and there it is. Pretty nifty, eh? That works. Not really sure what's left for the Hackintosh. If you have any software ideas, then we can definitely do them. However, so far it's working pretty well. The only thing that's a little bit annoying is obviously we don't have the dedicated GPU. So, yeah, that's the only way around that. But that's Hackintoshing for you. It's a bloody nightmare. Hope you enjoyed.